Hello, and welcome to the Vegas Consulting Podcast. In today's episode, we're diving into the key revisions of ISO 9001-2026 and what they mean for organizations preparing for the future of quality management. I'm James Wilson, a leading technical consultant at Vegas Consulting, and today we have an expert with us to unpack these changes in detail. Let's get started.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to being well-informed, and today, we're tackling something pretty big. ISO 9001.2026. People are calling it the biggest transformation since, 2015. It really seems like an evolution, adapting quality management for, today. Our mission, as always, is to cut through all the noise and give you the core essentials.
Exactly. And it's more than just, fiddling with the clauses. It feels like a genuine strategic shift. It mirrors the modern business world, pushing ISO 9001 away from just being a checklist. It's aiming to be a real driver for business resilience.
Okay, so let's unpack the draft international standard, the DIS. That's the version giving us a good look at what's likely coming in 2026. First thing that sort of jumped out at me, opportunity-based thinking. It's now its own separate structured requirement. It's not just, the other side of risk. What does that actually demand from companies? Does it mean, like, a whole new framework for finding innovations?
Well, what's critical, I think, is it requires a deliberate, proactive way of seeking out positive outcomes, not just reacting to the negative stuff.
Yeah.
It's about foresight, actively looking at new tech, new markets, new processes, and treating these opportunities seriously, just like risks. So defining actions, resources, what you expect to gain.
Right. Okay. And another really big change, this one definitely caught my eye, is the explicit mention of climate change. It's right there under organizational context, section 4.1, and interested parties, 4.2. And you mentioned something key before we started Amendment 1 from 2024. That's already mandatory.
Yes, that's absolutely right. It's mandatory now. The immediate impact is that you have to figure out if it's relevant to your specific business context, and you need to consider any related requirements. It doesn't automatically mean, launching some huge climate program tomorrow, but you do need to document how you assessed it, your thinking, even if you conclude it's not a direct factor for your QMS right now.
Got it. So document the decision process itself. Okay. We're also seeing the scope of stakeholders getting wider. It's not just customers, employees, regulators anymore. Now it explicitly includes society, unions, maybe even competitors. And that broadening kind of leads naturally to internal changes, right? Leadership now explicitly has to promote quality culture and ethics. But, organizations are juggling so much. Is there a risk? This just feels like more compliance paperwork.
It's a fair point.
Yeah.
But I think the standard intends for these to be strategic advantages, not burdens. Having that explicit focus on culture and ethics driven right from the top by leadership makes that tone from the top concept actually auditable. You look for concrete behaviors, communications, how resources are allocated. It moves beyond just having a policy to showing real commitment. That's how you embed quality, not just tick a box.
Okay, now here's where, for me, it gets really interesting, especially with tech moving so fast, the digital transformation part. I'm seeing talk that the new standard will really integrate digitalization, a data-centric QMS. It mentions AI, IoT, analytics, even cybersecurity within the quality system. How are auditors going to tackle that? What will they be looking for?
Yeah, the audit landscape definitely shifts here. Auditors won't just ask what digital tools you use. They'll dig into how leadership drives the culture around them. They'll want to see how you truly separate risks from opportunities and act on both. And crucially, how your digital processes, things like your MES, your LIMS, your ERP, maybe even AI tools, how are they controlled? How are they validated? And about documentation, the focus seems less on more paper and more on clarity, better control, especially for all those digital records. And circling back to climate for a sec, auditors will ask for the evidence of how you decided if it was relevant to your context, even if the answer was no.
Okay, so quite a bit to think about. What does this all mean for you, the listener, right now? How do you start preparing for this future of quality?
You can definitely start now. First, tackle that 2024 climate amendment. Update your context analysis, your interested parties list, your risk register, your management review inputs. Get that sorted. Second, do a kind of digital readiness scan. List out your software-driven processes. Define how you handle validation, data integrity, cybersecurity controls, and handoffs. Third, make sure you're clearly separating risks from opportunities. Have real treatment plans for both and ways to check if they're effective. Fourth, start gathering evidence of leadership commitment and that quality culture. Document the communications, the goals set, resources provided, how you engage the workforce on quality stuff. Fifth, take a fresh look at external provider control. Reevaluate your suppliers, any outsourced processes, even your digital software as a service providers. Tighten up those controls and performance measures. 6, refresh your knowledge management. Identify the really critical know-how in your organization. Make sure it's accessible, backed up, and under change control. And finally, 7th, just start planning your transition. There'll be that official 3-year window, probably 2026 to 2029, but start thinking about it now.
Wow, okay. Those are genuinely significant shifts. It really does sound like a comprehensive evolution for quality management.
It absolutely is. And I think this evolution of ISO 9001.2026 really draws a line in the sand. It separates the organizations that just treat quality as, a compliance hoop to jump through from those that truly embrace it as a strategic lever for excellence and resilience. It's honestly a wake-up call for quality leadership. It demands courage, demands ethics, to really build those cultures where continuous improvement isn't just a slogan, but where it can genuinely thrive.
Thanks to all listeners. Please do like, subscribe this podcast series. Let's catch up with the next episode.